San Jose police officer who shot football hero no longer with department after racist text revealed. This was written by O. Gloria Ocore, Andre Torres, Aja Seldon, and Lisa Fernandez, published on November 3rd, 2023 for KTVU.com. What's up, everybody? My name's Simon Hill, Black American from Louisiana, out here filming this video on November 6th, 2023 in Budapest, Hungary. If you're new to my channel, hit the like button, subscribe, share this content, all of that. I'm making this video in between my English classes that I teach that allow me to travel the world and see and report the things that I experience while abroad. I only have about 30 minutes until my next class, so this video will be short. I will be speed running through it. But before I read this article about this racist cop who got exposed for his hatred for black people, which ended up with him hurting one of us, I want to say that this video has been, documented well. I saw the original video when it happened back in March on chaotic.com. It's not hard to find. I will not be playing it because YouTube loves to hate on me, but you can find it here at this link. And yeah, it's just a very hard video to watch, to see that this young black man who was trying to do the right thing ended up getting hurt by the people that are supposed to serve and protect. So I'm just going to be reading the article, giving brief commentary, then we're going to cut this short, but hit the like button, subscribe, all that if you want to see more content like this. So let's get into this article. A San Jose police officer who wounded a football hero at a taqueria last summer also texted colleagues that he hates black people and used the N-word a multitude of times in the latest racist text scandal to hit the Bay Area. San Jose Police Chief Anthony Mata on Friday sent out a news release sharing snippets of the text that he alleges Officer Mark McNamara sent to another unnamed employee of the police department following the March 27th, 2022 shooting at a La Victoria taqueria. He also said that McNamara is no longer with the department. I am committed as your police chief that I will rid our ranks of individuals who act in a manner counter to the mission and values of our department, Mata said in a written statement. If any employee's racial bias rears its ugly head, rest assured that I will take immediate action to ensure they are not part of this organization. Now, we are not surprised that there are racist police sending racist memes and racist jokes and racist texts to other people in their racist ass circle. I've covered this in previous videos before. But what I think needs to be done to make sure that all police departments are rid of people with racial animus, specifically anti-black racism, what needs to be done is that they need to monitor all of their messages, all of their social media, and all of their text messages. If you don't like that, maybe you shouldn't be a police officer. Maybe you shouldn't be a cop if you don't want to be monitored to make sure that you are not a racist. Because how are people that are supposed to protect the public be trusted when secretly behind closed doors they're texting the N-word to their friends and family? I'm going to continue. San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan said there is nothing more sickening than a person in power abusing their position. I will sleep better tonight knowing that this individual is no longer carrying a badge and a gun. The Mercury News reported that the 6-year veteran resigned earlier this week after he learned he was being investigated by the Internal Affairs Unit for an unrelated criminal matter. Efforts to reach McNamara were unsuccessful. This person should not be allowed to be a cop anywhere, but unfortunately, as we've seen in other cases, like the cop who shot the young boy Tamir Rice, unfortunately, cops, because we don't have a federal, police system, some people say the FBI is, but that's an investigative unit. We're talking about regular, everyday cops. Cities, counties, different states have different ways of regulating their police. So McNamara, unfortunately, will be able to cross county lines, cross state lines, and get another job as a cop if he wants. And unfortunately, a lot of police agencies in the U.S. are understaffed and they need more police, unfortunately, because they get more and more budgets. They have more money than God, and they're able to throw it at anybody who wants to put on a badge and a gun. So unfortunately, I think McNamara will be able to become a cop again. But he shouldn't. He shouldn't be. And this is why any cop who does something like this should be on a registry of people who can never, ever say that they are meant to protect people again. So, but San Jose Police Officers Association President Steve Slack distanced himself from McNamara, saying this is disconcerting reminder that not everyone has the moral compass necessary to be in the law enforcement profession. And if these allegations against McNamara prove to be true, he must face the sternest consequences possible. McNamara was one of the police officers who shot defensive linebacker Con Green, 21, 4 times in the back, abdomen, and arm at Lavic. Green used to play for Contra Costa College and now plays for City College of San Francisco. There had been a brawl at the taqueria that night, and Green ended up wrestling a gun away from the real shooter, according to video and his lawyers. He was seen on surveillance video walking out of the taco shop backwards with the confiscated gun in his hand. Police arrived in a hurry and maintained that they shot Green because a homicide had occurred a block away about 30 minutes earlier, and they feared the two instances were related and an active shooter might be on the loose. It turned out these two situations were not related. Unfortunately, in America, too many Americans are obsessed with the gun, meaning that they believe that the gun makes them more free or that it protects them from the bad guys with guns and that sort of stuff. And unfortunately, we're going to continue to see stories like this where innocent people get shot holding guns or being suspected of having guns because we live in a society where everybody has access to them. If you can't get them legally, you can get them illegally. If you can't get them from the store, you can get them from the block. And that's what's going to continue to happen. Police officers are going to end up shooting innocent civilians. Well, civilians in general are going to end up hurting police officers and that sort of stuff. And citizens will get hurt by other citizens carrying guns as long as we in America continue to worship the gun. Like I said, I'm filming this video in Budapest, Hungary. In 2022, they only had 89 homicides. 89 homicides. And only a fraction of them were done by guns. In the U.S., certain cities have triple-digit homicide numbers every single year, and we think that's normal. And every year we hear about police shooting civilians. This will stop once Americans stop worshiping the gun. But most people will turn off the video at this point because Americans worship that long metal phallus more than they do actually care about making a better country. I'm going to continue. When more details came out that Green had actually taken the weapon away from the gunman, police never retreated from their earlier narrative. In addition, Green was also not alerted by the police department on Friday night of the racist text, although his attorneys were. He was shocked and pissed, one of his attorneys, Angel Alexander, said. This is a picture of Con Green playing for Contra Costa football. So Mata said criminal charges over the text have not been filed, nor are any anticipated to be. Some of the text that Mata revealed showed that McNamara wrote to two unnamed recipients, described only as one active department employee and a former department employee, referencing the shooting that involved Green. If these other people are cops, or in any sort of law enforcement or government, they need to be revealed too, and they need to be investigated and quickly fired, because it's very rare that one way some person is using racial slurs or racist language and the other person isn't in cahoots with them, or they don't condone it to some extent. And that's the problem. I think the people around him possibly condone this behavior as well, and they were using that language too, and they need to be investigated and quickly terminated. That employee is on administrative leave, the chief said, saying he couldn't say more. In a text message dated the day after the shooting, McNamara appears to refer to Green, the N-word, wanted to carry a gun in the Wild West. Not on my watch. Oh, God. In another text, McNamara was pretty clear about how he feels, texting simply, "I hate black people." Wow. If that's pretty cut and dry racism right there. For anybody, and unfortunately people jump into my comments defending the cops who do racist activity. They say, oh, not all police are racist, or you're just reading into racism, or you're causing division, and all those sort of stupid talking points the white supremacists say. How can it be more cut and dry than this? McNamara was caught with his own two thumbs texting, "I hate black people." Pretty cut and dry racist. Other messages from June 2023 seem to have been sent while McNamara was being interviewed by the San Jose city attorney and Green's lawyers, Alexander Adante Pointer and Patrick Bolna, who sued the city over the shooting. Pointer and Alexander are black. Bolna is Native American. Some of them are, "These civil lawyers are such parasites." There was like 6 65 African looking MFs there too, all just mean mugging me and taking notes. They should all be bowing to me and bringing me gifts since I saved a fellow N word by making him rich as F. Otherwise, he would lived a life of poverty and crime. So what a sick, twisted man. He thinks because I shot this young black man, and unfortunately, the city, not my own pension, not my own bank account, but the city, the civilians who pay taxes are going to have to pay this young black man millions of dollars in damages. He thinks he's a hero. What a sick man. This man should be buried under the jail. And yes, his pension should be taken away. His salary should be deducted. He should have to pay damages and restitution to this black man for the rest of his life, honestly, by shooting somebody. Somebody's going to say, well, this guy recovered. He didn't die. He's back playing football and all that sort of stuff. He's healthy again. Who gets over it? Getting shot is a traumatic event. This young man might be paralyzed. He might suffer damages later in his life physically. He might be psychologically scarred. Getting shot is not something that you can just brush off your shoulder. I'm going to continue reading here. The other day, this N-word lawyer is like, Mr. McNamara, you know we can still find you guilty of excessive force, right? I'm like, yeah, then what happens? Think I give a F what y'all N-words think? I'll shoot you too. Ah, what a crazy man. This man is literally crazy. This type of person should not be working in law enforcement. Honestly, he shouldn't be out in society. We need to create centers where people get re-educated. Yes, here's my crazy communist ass talking. We need centers where people get re-educated. Anti-black racism is wrong. Black people have never done anything to you. Black people don't hurt society. Black people only contribute to society. And if you get rid of that bigotry and hatred in your heart, you can be a better person too. Basic things about, respecting all people, not hating different people, not assuming negative things about different people based on their skin color or their ethnicity or race. Basic things like that you could do. That's what I'm talking about, but whatever. McNamara also wrote that Green should be thanking him for shooting him and that he doesn't care at all about what happened. I finally had to tell this city attorney what's what, McNamara texted. I'm like, dude, I don't give a S word about this case. I'm white, he's black, he's gonna win, and I don't care. It's a B. Whatever they decide has no bearing on me whatsoever. It's basically a kangaroo court. What a sick, twisted man. See, this is the thing, the victim mentality. A lot of white people or white supremacists think that black people have a victim mentality. When guys like this think, oh man, I shot an innocent black person, he's going to win automatically because he's black. Not the fact that you just shot an innocent person. That's not the important part. You're forgetting the important part of your case, sir. You shot an innocent man who came out with his hands up with his back turned to you, and you shot him just because he was black. You saw his curly 4C hair on the back of his head and his brown neck, and you decided you could let loose. And you were sending racist texts before and after the event. You're a sick man. You're sick. You're sick, Mr. McNamara. All right. Green's lawyers found out about the racist text Friday evening after they were contacted by the opposing counsel to the federal lawsuit against the police department. I paused for a moment, Alexander said. I just paused. The words, she said, don't even seem like they could come from a police officer. Instead, she said she first thought they were rap lyrics or something almost that offensive. It took her a moment to realize that a police officer was talking about her client and her colleagues. You see this all the time, but when it happens in your case, it is a little shocking. I have to admit that, she said. What upset her the most? The one honestly that sticks out the most in my head was this text that said, I hate black people. Plain and simple, Alexander said. To see it in black and white on a piece of paper, there is no guessing or speculation. And the more you read, the worse it gets. This is not the first police racist text scandal to be unearthed in the Bay Area. In California, a lot of people think, oh, California is so liberal, hippie, cool, left wing, everybody there is chill, there's no racism and that sort of stuff. Now, California is definitely top one of the racist states in America. So many racist incidents have happened in California. It's almost uncountable. But basically, my premise on American racism is this. It's not regionalized. If you're south of Canada, you're in the South, basically. You're in the most racist place in the world. Doesn't matter if you're in Washington, Maine, Massachusetts, Connecticut, California, Minnesota, you're dealing with anti-black racism on the regular, especially from people in power. The most infamous to date until now belongs to the Antioch Police Department, where now half of the officers are on leave because of the racist messages officers made about the city's black mayor and residents. Oakland police also were embroiled in an Instagram scandal that included racist and sexist exchanges between officers. An investigation was launched after leaked text showed Berkeley police officers on bike patrol showed officers making negative comments about the homeless in regard to possibly unconstitutional arrest quotas. For their part, Green's lawyers want police departments and chiefs like Mata to hold their officers accountable. That's because, as Alexander said, racist texts turn into racist actions. This is a plague that has again permeated police departments across the country, Alexander said. So, yeah, I appreciate the fact that once internal affairs found out about the message, that seems like it was taken care of rather quickly. Unfortunately, I wish it had been done earlier and maybe, we wouldn't have a case. So I'm definitely going to make sure that Mr. Mark Manera gets famous. If anybody sees this guy in a sea of mayonnaise, make sure that you know he's a racist. Don't harass him. Don't assault him. Don't verbally abuse him. But I hope if anybody in power watches my videos at all, because I do have somewhat of a growing audience that's getting larger and larger by the day. If anybody in power sees this guy, make sure you don't hire him. Make sure you don't put him in positions of power where he can influence the public. That is all. People like this should not be in charge of policing society, at the very least. And I hope that Khan, the guy who got shot, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right too. I hope you get justice civilly and criminally. This guy should do some time in jail for how he thinks. I mean, hate crime charges definitely could be put on this guy, in my opinion. So I'm going to read this last article here. Lawyers demand criminal charges for racist San Jose officer who shot their client. This was published on November 5th, 2023 for CBS News Bay Area. All the links will be in the description. San Jose. A San Jose police officer is no longer employed by the city after an internal investigation uncovered racially biased messages, including "I hate black people." The messages were made public Friday by San Jose Police Chief Anthony Mata, who said Officer Mark McNamara was no longer employed by the city after an internal investigation uncovered the text. The messages appear to refer to the shooting and a lawsuit in which Con Green contends he was an innocent victim and accuses police of excessive use of force. Officer McNamara could be seen in a restaurant surveillance video shooting and injuring Con Green in March 2022. That he felt no way in his heart that he was wrong is pretty scary to me, Green said. San Jose police on Friday released the text messages McNamara reportedly sent to two people where he bragged about shooting Green and repeatedly used the N-word. He also directed his text at Green's attorneys. "I never thought somebody could just have that much hatred in their heart to where they would want to kill me just because of what I look like," Green said. The 22-year-old Green, a defensive end on the City College of San Francisco football team, is still recovering mentally and physically, he says. "Football is his therapy. I used to be able to dunk a basketball. I can barely jump off my left leg now. Everything pretty much hurts. But just because I don't want to go through any more depression or just be so down on myself, I forced myself to play," Green said. And I'm very glad they included that in the article, because a lot of times people think, oh, people get shot every day, B. Oh, unfortunately, Americans think this way, where getting shot is just a normal, everyday part of life. It's like earthquakes in Chile. It's just something that happens, right? And people just brush it off their shoulder if they are able to live from it. But no, getting shot is a traumatic event. This person might have to deal with physical repercussions for the rest of their life. And that's how we need to view gun violence. Every time somebody is shot in America, it's a tragedy. So, at La Victoria Taqueria in downtown San Jose on March 27, 2022, surveillance video showed a man pulling out a gun during a fight. Green disarmed the man. Officer McNamara shot Green as he backed away from the man holding the confiscated gun in the air. San Jose police said McNamara shot Green 4 times, twice in the arm, once in the stomach, and once in the knee. God damn, they were letting it off on him. If somebody doesn't shoot back, is one enough? No, they were trying to execute this man. They shot him 4 times, twice in the arm, once in the stomach, and once in the knee, just because he was holding the gun and with his hands up in the air. Seriously, I know the police are in reasonable fear of their lives because citizens live in a country where they have easy access to weapons. But goddamn, if nobody's shooting back, one is enough. One is absolutely enough. Green was doing the right thing and was being a hero, Green's attorney, Dante Pointer said. I know somebody's going to jump in the comments who's very racist and say that this guy was a thug, he was a criminal, he was a bad person, he was fighting in a restaurant. He was trying to do the right thing. There were people fighting in the video. He tried to stop the fight and he was able to take the gun away. He stopped people from hurting other people violently, deathly. What's the word? Deadly. Deadly violence. He stopped deadly violence. And if you don't believe me, go watch the video that will be in the description here. But either way, he didn't shoot back. He was not an aggressor. He was not attacking the police. He was exiting the place where there was conflict and ended up getting shot. That's not cool. Pointer said that because of McNamara's racial bias, they believe the shooting was premeditated. He wants the Santa Clara County District Attorney to file criminal charges against McNamara. Green's attorneys also want the state to decertify McNamara so he'll never work in law enforcement again. Absolutely, I agree with both of those things. Pointer said the racist text sent by McNamara to a fellow officer demonstrate that it isn't just a few bad apples on the San Jose police force. He says there is a culture of racial animus. To where racism of those carrying badges and guns not only survives in the San Jose Police Department but thrives, Pointer said. The San Jose Police Officers Association president Steve Slack responded to that claim with a statement. It's unfortunate that in the pursuit of financial gain, Mr. Green's attorney has no difficulty pointing at the racist thoughts and behavior of one individual and then painting every officer with the same brush. Oh God, come on, stop. Like we just read in the previous article, there have been multiple examples of police officers in Northern California, in San Jose, sending racist messages to each other, doing this and communicating back and forth with nasty memes about a people who didn't bother anybody. Black people didn't destroy America. We've only built up America. And yes, criminality does exist in Black America, but just like it does in white America and every other group of people. They don't need to continue to say, why are you targeting us as police officers? Just a bunch of whiny crybabies. A bunch of whiny crybabies. The police officers and every white supremacist who says, well, not all white people are racist and that sort of stuff. Y'all gotta chill. You gotta chill. There's been a culture of racism in the California police departments. Period. That doesn't mean you get to be all sissified about it. It is a testament to the culture of the SJPD that our internal affairs investigators found these texts, reported these texts to the chief of police, and the chief took immediate action to rid the cancer of Mr. McNamara from our department. Our culture also reinforced our union's decision to not defend these horrid texts or Mr. McNamara, but to condemn both in the strongest possible terms. Green said he won't let the incident hold him back. I'm still hoping to make it to the NFL, Green said. I'm trying to put everything I have into that school and on the field. Green and his attorney filed a federal civil lawsuit against the city of San Jose. It is scheduled to go to trial next year, and I hope they win. Absolutely. So once again, let's make sure the face of Mr. McNamara is not forgotten. This is the face of white supremacy. This is the face of racism. This is everything that is wrong with America summed up in one person, a racist cop who abused his power, shot an innocent Black man, and now the city has to suffer. Taxpayers will have to pay Con Green millions of dollars for his wrongdoing. Get rid of the guns. Make sure these police are held accountable, that they can't work as police again. Monitor their messages. And if anybody doesn't like what I have to say, leave a comment and sound off and help the algorithm grow this channel. My name is Simon Hill. Thank you for watching this. Daily uploads, daily live streams, daily shorts, daily posts. We're always consistent and persistent on this channel. Peace.